Hi everyone, happy Saturday. Welcome to Mona's Kitchen. Yes, you'll notice I'm all dressed up. I'm going to a party tonight, a virtual party. I was in a play last month and we're having a cast party and it starts at 7, but I didn't want to disappoint. So I want to make dinner with you now at 6 and we're going to make my children's favorite recipe. I miss them so much, you know. Rachel's in New Jersey, hey Ray, and Scotty's in DC. And I miss them. And I thought, well, you know what? I want that comfort food that they love right in my pan, in my kitchen tonight. And it was funny, like today I learned a couple of things. This has nothing to do with food, but I just wanted to share with you a couple of things. The first thing I wanted to share is it feels really good to dress up. You know, here I am, I'm in my little, Spanx leather pants and my nice shirt, my scarf. And I highly recommend that you do it at least once a week. Get in the shower, put on some makeup, get dressed, and you know what? Even though I'm making dinner with you and we're having dinner, I'm going to watch this video and have some popcorn, and I'm going to be at home, it feels really good. It's really good for your brain, really good for your, just overall it feels really, really good. The second thing that I did today that was kind of cool, I put on like a Zumba video, and what I realized is that I can put it on like 15 minutes throughout the day, which was kind of cool, and that I get a whole hour of working out without even realizing it. When I wanted to take a break, I did another song. So it's kind of a nice and fun thing to do in addition to the other exercise that you're doing. And dancing is really good for your mind and your brain as well, too. Okay, back to chicken marsala. So tonight we're going to make chicken marsala, and I'm going to show you how to do it. It's very, very simple. And what's really great about this recipe, you don't really have to do much slicing and dicing with the exception of garlic, which you can buy pre-minced if you want to. And it doesn't really require a lot of ingredients, simply chicken and mushrooms and some wine. And so let's get started, okay? So the first thing that we're going to do is we're going to heat up our pan. Oh, Doug, could you get my pastry brush?
Yeah, sure.
And we're going to heat up the pan. And I just wanted to show you, these are some chicken tenders that I actually pre-hammered to make sure that the collagen is kind of softened and so that they're nice and thin. And so the way to kind of hammer them is that all you do is you get like a hammer, you put a piece of saran wrap over, you go tap, 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 and you're ready to go. So that's my chicken. And now I'm going to put in my olive oil. The recipe calls for 2 tablespoons of olive oil. So I'm going to put that in. And remember, from my previous videos, I'm just going to basically paint it around the pan until it warms up. And I'm going to put some of my garlic in there. I think I'm going to put half of my garlic in now, so that way it'll flavorize the meat. And I'll put the other half when I'm making the sauce. So I'm going to wait till that bubbles a little bit. So while I'm doing that, I'm going to dredge my chicken. What that means, I'm basically going to put a little bit of flour on it. Since we're gluten-free, I'm using a gluten-free flour, but you could use an all-purpose flour. And if you're celebrating Passover next week, this recipe can be kosher for Passover because you can use matzah meal instead. So that's kind of cool, right? And I'll tell you how to make it Passover-y as we kind of get along. So the flour is going to have some salt. I'm going to put a little oregano in there, some pepper. And I'm just going to dredge the chicken, which means I'm going to basically kind of bread it without an egg. And you'll see it's sizzling already in the pan. So I'm going to put that in. And you want to keep the heat at like a medium to a medium high. So I'm going to kind of dredge and go, as they say. And it smells good already, right, Doug?
Yes, it does.
You smell that garlic. And it's great because I flavorize it a little bit. Got a little seasoning, little oregano going, little pepper. And this is going to cook really fast because it's very, very thin. I'll probably cook a minute. I know in the recipe it says 4 to 6 minutes total, but it'll probably take closer to 3 minutes because I made the chicken really, really thin. And that's just another tip. You don't want to overcook the chicken because then it'll be, because you're going to cook it again for another minute once after the sauce is made. So basically this is a little 2-step process. So, and again, you don't want to use this flour again because you put it in raw meat. So I just want to give you that heads up. Okay, so I used a gluten-free flour that has flax in it, but again, all-purpose flour is good, or matzo meal if it's Passover, or regular flour, whatever you want. Even almond flour, I even made it with almond flour. It was really delicious with that too. Okay, so here's a pan. We're basically browning the chicken, medium high. And this recipe is really simple. You know, you just basically buy, and you can buy different kinds of chicken. So you could buy a regular chicken breast and just pound it and pound it and pound it and pound it. Or what I used what I had in my freezer because I really wanted to limit my going to the supermarket. So I had chicken tenders in the house. So basically what I did was I just pounded them, and they were pre-cut too, which is great. And a lot of times you'll see in the store you can get scallopini style chicken, which is also a great chicken to get because it's already thinly sliced for you. So who's on? Hey Joanne, how are you? Hey Alice, hey Eliza. Thank you all for coming tonight. Alice, I really like those egg muffins you made today. Those looked awesome. Alice made some awesome egg muffins that are in my, actually going to be in my new cookbook. So great breakfast option. Let's see. You want to kind of wait till like it's a little lightly brown. I'm going to spray a little olive oil on top. I don't want to put that much more in it, but this organic spray is kind of good because you can just add a little bit without adding a huge amount. So if you see that the pan's getting really dry, just spray a little olive oil. It's no biggie. And have fun with it. Hi Irma, how are you? Irma, I'm wearing your scarf. Do you recognize it? We got this together, remember? So I hope everybody, I'm so glad the sun came out today. It was nice. Went for a walk, for those of you who live in the Boston area. So I'm going to flip it once it, as I say, instead of brown, whitens. And you'll see it has nice flavoring on it, and the garlic, you can see the garlic a little bit. Yeah. You're basically going to wait until it browns up. I'm just going to spray a little bit more olive oil on it. I don't want to put that much on because the sauce is plenty buttery and plenty olivey. Who else is on? Hey Joyce. Hello from Joyce. Love the idea of using almond flour. Yeah, I do too. It really comes out nice. It's great, and it makes it Passover-y, which is kind of great. Hey Julie, how are you? Everybody say hi to Doug. Doug's my cameraman. Doug, you want to say hi?
Hi, everybody.
This is Doug's favorite dinner.
It really is.
Right? So tonight, I know I put in my post, like I didn't really know what I was going to make with it. So I said, Doug, what should I make with it? And he looked at me, he goes, what do you think you're going to make with it? You can make what you always make with it, which is what the kids and Doug love. I made some homemade mashed potatoes. I'm going to have some green beans too. And they're really nice. The potatoes go really, really nice with the sauce. And this smells like it's ready. So what you're going to do is take a clean pan and just put the chicken in the pan, which I'm going to do right now. Step one, done. Chicken's cooked. I'm going to lower the flame just a little bit. Perfect. And then now I'm going to make the sauce. So I'm going to add 1 of my tablespoons of butter into it. And then again, if you want to celebrate Passover and you don't want to use butter, you can use an avocado butter or margarine, whatever it is. And then after this is melted, I'm going to add the mushrooms. I love mushrooms, and mushrooms are really, really great for you. They're a great immune boost. I actually use a mushroom powder every morning in my shake. So mushrooms, eat your mushrooms, guys. So I use the baby Bella mushrooms, and you can get them pre-sliced, so it'd make it a lot easier for you to cook this meal. So I'm going to add the mushrooms, and I'm going to wait for the mushrooms, as I say, to sweat a little bit, which means the moisture is going to come out. And then once they soften a little bit, I'm going to add I'm going to add the olive oil and the wine and a little chicken stock. All good. So I'm just going to let these soften up a little bit. And I use all different kinds of mushrooms for this. You could use regular sliced white mushrooms. You can even use shiitake mushrooms. So, and don't worry about the little bits on the bottom because those are going to soften up as soon, and that's actually what I call it, my flavor bits I want to show you. Don't worry, because that's going to soften up. As soon as I add the chicken broth and the wine, is all gonna mix together, and that's where all the flavor bits are gonna happen. So don't worry about that stuff, okay? It's not black, it's just flavorizing inside. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is the wine, the Marsala wine. I'm gonna add about 3/4 to a cup of Marsala wine. Don't you love that noise? I love that noise, so good. So I'm gonna add the Marsala wine, and I'm just gonna boil that down for a minute to kind of get rid of the both on the alcohol and improve the flavor.
That smells pretty good.
I know, doesn't it? I love Marsala wine. Who else is on? Hey, Carrie, how are you? Hi, Allie. Good to hear from you. I'm glad you joined. Hi, Kate. Hi, Lily. And hi, Karen. I'm glad you guys are all here. It's so nice to have friends that you haven't talked to in a while. And they're joining you. I wish I could see your faces. Maybe I should do a Zoom cook. That would be kind of fun. So what I'm doing now, for those who just came on board, I've dredged my chicken and I cooked it, made it nice and thin. I cooked it for about 3 to 4 minutes. And now in my pan, I've added a little bit of butter and my mushrooms, which I'm flavoring down. As you know, mushrooms are really, really good for you, Allie. I know you know that, for your immune system. So we're eating lots of mushrooms tonight for dinner. And right now I'm boiling down the Marsala wine, and it smells very good. Hey, Beth, how are you? Gosh, we got Florida, we got New Jersey, we've got Massachusetts, we got everybody here. And you can see, you can tell when the alcohol's kind of warm up. It's still, I would say, smoking, misting a little bit. But you can see the sauce starting to thicken a little bit, which is really good. Look how good that looks, huh? Check it out. Doesn't that look good? Yum. Okay, so the next thing I'm going to add is some chicken stock. And that'll help just add more to the sauce. You know, there are a lot of recipes out there, and it's interesting because there's a lot of recipes, and instead of chicken stock, they use butter, which is, yeah, it's a great thing to do. But chicken stock and vegetable stock and all kinds of stock are really a great swap in making sauces to kind of make them, you know, have less fat. So one of my swaps for chicken stock or vegetable stock that I use, when you want to make mashed potatoes, you can sub in some of the butter or the milk for some stock, and that reduces the calories, plus it adds a lot more flavor. So it's just a nice little tip to have. Or sometimes when you're sauteing vegetables, you can add a little chicken stock instead of oil to kind of give it the same flavor, and it's really good. So okay, so I've added some chicken stock. I want it to bubble a little bit. I'm just checking my recipe, make sure I got it right. And I'm gonna add my last little bit of butter to kind of thicken the sauce a little bit. And the serving size, I use about a pound of chicken, and I recommend that for meal to have between 4 and 6 ounces of chicken in your meal. And per serving, from a caloric standpoint, this is about 300 calories, and I'm gonna serve it. Doug's gonna have some mashed potatoes. I roasted a sweet potato for myself. I'm gonna have some green beans. So it's great, it's a great meal, it's fully balanced, and it's less than 500 calories, and you're getting like a gourmet restaurant meal. And
not to mention how yummy it is.
Yeah, it's pretty yummy too. It's delicious, it's actually delicious. So, you know, you can eat deliciousness very healthfully. Okay, so I've added my butter, and the next thing I'm going to add is I'm going to take a little bit of the flour. This is flour I got from a separate place. The flour that I used to dredge my chicken I threw away. So this is a little bit of flour that I'm adding at the end. And what this does, this helps thicken the sauce. Now, if you want to use the flour, that's fine. If you want to use a little arrowroot or a little cornstarch, you can do that. I'm just adding a little bit of flour. Just a little bit, a couple of teaspoons. And what that will do, that will thicken the sauce. And then I'm going to bring my chicken back in a couple of minutes. I just want this to thicken up a little bit. And it just, you know, it's kind of like the pudding I made the other day, where it takes that reaction that happens, but all of a sudden you get a beautiful thick sauce. And it just takes a little while, so don't get nervous. Here, it's starting to thicken up already. All right, so what I'm going to do now is I'm going to bring our friends the chicken breast back. Now you can make marsala, not just with chicken. If you have like turkey cutlets, you can make turkey cutlet marsala. You could even make shrimp marsala if you wanted to. So, you know, again, it's just a great sauce. Follow the same recipe. You just have to brown whatever protein you're browning first, set it aside, and then make this yummy sauce, which is awesome.
Looks like lunch for tomorrow too.
Yeah, so that's what Doug and I like to do. You know, it's just the two of us. So I always make like about a pound of meat. And so what that's really good is that it, excuse me, I just want to get this, here it is. It's really good because it gives us 2 meals. And that's really great, whether it's another dinner, whether it's lunch the next day. It's, you know, it's just really awesome. Just look how this is thickening up. So awesome.
I had the enchilada casserole for lunch today.
Oh yeah, how was
It
it?
was awesome.
Really? Great. Okay, so the last bit we're going to add is some fresh basil. Basil's a really good antioxidant, so I'm just going to sprinkle that on top. And we're just going to let this bubble just for like literally a minute more. And look what we made, guys, in 14 minutes. Check this out. What do you think? Doesn't that look awesome? How does it smell, Doug?
It smells so good.
Yeah, so that's how you make chicken marsala. It's really simple, really easy. Great ideas for side dishes. You can make it with mashed potatoes. I'm going to have a roasted sweet potato. And actually, I'm going to do a live in the next couple of days on how to make great sides. We're also going to have some green beans. So again, I'm trying to use my rainbow of vegetables with my dinner. My beta-carotene sweet potato, my green beans. I have my basil. I have my mushrooms. And you know me, I always like to have at least 2 cups of vegetables with every serving for dinner. So here you can have with this awesome chicken marsala. So I just want to say hey and goodbye before I take off to get ready for my dinner and my party tonight. And my words for today is make this dinner. It smells so awesome. I wish I could fuse it to my kids right now. My daughter's in New Jersey, my son's in DC, and this is their favorite meal, and I wish they were home right now to eat it with me, but at least now they have the recipe like you guys, and you can make it for yourselves and for your family. This is also made with a lot of comfort and with a lot of love, so I hope that you put that great love into your dinners as well. And before we take off, I just want to say hey to Beth, and hi Denise, hey Keith, and to Jay. Thanks for watching. Have a great Saturday night, and we'll see you tomorrow.